Well, here we are at the beginning of the end. Hey guys, welcome back to the tennis vlog. The subscribe button is calling your name. Today, at rather a random time of year, Wimbledon announced that as of next year they will be playing tie breaks at 12 all in the 5th set of men's singles matches. This was first seriously talked about after the men's semi-finals this year, where Kevin Anderson and John Isner ended at 26-24 in the 5th set, and Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic also played a marathon match, meaning that the women's final was pushed back on the schedule. When I heard the news, which came as something of a surprise, I kind of wanted to be angry, but I wasn't. I was just sad. Very sad. As ridiculous as it might sound, I was pretty gutted. I'm going to apologise right now if you've watched a lot of my content before, because I'm probably going to be repeating myself a fair bit, but I feel as strongly on this as I did yesterday, as I did last week, as I did last month, as I did last year, and as I did 5 years ago. This is not about a tiebreak at 12 all specifically in itself being a big deal, even though I would rather not have tiebreaks in 5th sets at all. After all, the vast majority of matches at Grand Slams don't actually reach 12 all in the 5th set. Since the year 2000 at Wimbledon, only 28 matches have gone beyond 10 all in the 5th set, and my maths isn't fantastic, but I work that out as an average of 1 and a bit matches per year for the past 18 years, or 19, if they're including 2000 in that stat. So remind me why we need this change? I've said it time and time again, and I will say it again. The long matches, the marathon matches that go on for hours are the ones that separate the great players from the good players. It's all about being able to endure and produce your best tennis or your most gritty tennis under intense pressure. It tests a player's mentality, it tests a player's physicality. Everything in a player is challenged over best of 5 sets with no tie breaks being pushed to the limit. And this is what the authorities want to expel, this test of the best tennis players. This format which shows who the real champions truly are. Bringing in a tiebreak in the 5th set, whether it's at 6 all or whether it's at 12 all, takes something away from the sport and takes something away from the intensity of the challenge. And for all those who cry out against the big servers who lack an impressive groundstroke game, this format is going to make things easier for them. The ultimate factor in John Isner's loss to Kevin Anderson in the Wimbledon semi-finals this year was that he lacked the stamina of Anderson. You could see him flagging and flagging and flagging until it became too much. Bring in a final set tiebreak and Isner is going to save more energy. He's going to have more of an opportunity to let his big serve carry him through to the tiebreak and then see it finish there. Players with more of a groundstroke game, meanwhile, are going to have less of an opportunity to break serve. They can't keep holding on and giving themselves the opportunity in the decider when the big server is feeling weak. But that is not my core reason for hating this prospect, and it's not even really the fact that the tiebreak is coming at 12 all, as I mentioned previously. Change introduces more change, and it's a never-ending cycle. You play a tiebreak at 12 all in the 5th for a bit, and then people will start to wonder, why do we play a tiebreak at 12 all in the 5th if players are going to play so many hours and then it just come down to the first to 7 points? So I'm 99% sure that at some point in the future Wimbledon will end up taking it down to 6 all and tiebreak in the 5th set. 50 years down the line, maybe it's not even worth playing 5 sets, maybe we'll just play best of 3 sets instead. And if we're still here in 100 years time, you know what, why don't we just play best of 4 game sets as well? Save time. See the stars, enjoy the tennis, game done. What makes me especially sad here is that Wimbledon is such a historic traditional tournament, and it's also the most prestigious tennis tournament, the most respected and the most historic of all the 4 Grand Slams. The US Open already does play a tiebreak to decide their 5th set, but the French Open and the Australian Open do not. Now that Wimbledon has made this change, the influence that Wimbledon has means that these 2 other slams are going to be under pressure to conform as well. Change introduces more change, and before you know it, the sport can become unrecognizable. The only legitimate reason I can see for changing to a tiebreak at 12 all in the 5th is for scheduling reasons, and they could easily move the men's matches onto court 1 or court 2 if they're taking too much time. It's 8 weeks a year in an 11-month season. For some, it's even 4 weeks a year because the majority of players are not going to reach the 2nd week of a slam. For some, it's 4 matches a year because they don't make it past the 1st round. People are concerned about players having their career cut short by being pushed too too hard in best-of-5 sets. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic have all played in the era of best-of-5 set matches and Masters 1000 finals, and they're all still here. Roger Federer is 37 years old, 20 Grand Slams, played more Grand Slam matches than any other player left on tour, and he's still going. Rafael Nadal has had his knees and his body torn apart by this sport. He's won 17 Grand Slams, he's still going, and he has professed himself that he doesn't want tennis matches to be shortened. Nadal has been one of the lead voices saying about how the most memorable and the most exhilarating matches happen in best-of-5 sets. And yes, as the US Open has shown, you can have great tennis matches that come down to a tiebreak in the 5th set, but it's awful for so many hours of tennis and competition to have to come down to first to 7 points. If you want to finish your match more quickly, you have the opportunity to win 3 sets to love, you have the opportunity to win 3 sets to 1, then you have the opportunity to break in the 5th set. If you want to win a match more quickly, up your game. Don't look for outside shortcuts. And for the record, it's not most of the players calling for this, it's outside authorities and people that are more interested in the viewer's perception of the sport than what the players themselves actually think. Want to extend the careers of tennis players? Then stop pestering them to play in Gerard Piqué's Davis Cup finals at the end of November. Lengthen their off-season. Best-of-5 sets does not need to come into the equation. I had a Pepsi Max when I heard the news. I don't drink Pepsi Max anymore. And it didn't make me feel better. It made me feel worse, actually. So there's my quick opinion on Wimbledon's rule changes. I'm sorry that I couldn't do a longer and more detailed video. Usually I would do more of a balanced argument, but I'm very pushed for time with both filming and editing today. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think of Wimbledon's decision to introduce a tiebreak at 12-all in the 5th set. Thank you to all subscribers. Please do subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I wouldn't be, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy this video. Hopefully you found it vaguely interesting. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.